Hello everyone and welcome back to another Age of Bison YouTube channel cast a game in our 2v2 tournament. But before we get started on this game, we have some huge news coming up for a channel update that we want to talk to you about at the beginning before we get started. So the first thing is that we're going to do a huge video content dump on our channel this upcoming week as we are casting some of the final games in our 2v2 tournament, and these games here are going to be for the semifinals. So all these are going to be going up on our channel back to back to back, so be sure to stay tuned and be able to watch all of our videos and go ahead and share them around with your friends. Very exciting matches that we have coming up, and that's all going to roll into the finals that's coming up on Sunday. And so Widgie is actually going to be joining us, doing a casting with us alongside of us on his Twitch channel at 1 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, GMT, and that's going to be on November 6th. So go ahead and mark that in, 1 p.m. November 6th on Widgie's Twitch stream. Make sure to tune into that to watch the finals in this epic saga of the 2v2 tournament of the Age of Bison YouTube channel and the Age of Sunbros Discord. So just wanted to let you guys know about that opportunity, and feel free now to tune in to our casting of the semifinals. Now, as we're rolling into the game, we have Holzkoppe with Carey1ag and Carey1ag with the famous Germany. Love to see him. And then on the following side, Nicius with Portugal, and then Lopsided Fluff with the Ottomans. And these two have been tearing it up on this tournament as they've been carving their way into the finals. Both sides of these teams. I'm joined here by my co-caster McCleaves. We are on Finland against two fantastic teams. Tell me what you're thinking about this matchup, my friend.
Yeah, two fantastic teams. That's the right way to describe this. Really excited about Carey playing Germany. He's really good with them. Also, Nicius playing Ports is a very interesting one. Ports got buffed pretty big time in the last updates with a very good H1 card and 3 organ guns in H3, sorry. And obviously Ottomans with the buffed Avis, as we saw in the quarterfinals. This is going to be very good. And also Finland again. Finland is a very greedy map, a very good map for Portugal, I assume, but probably also for Germany.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm super excited. I mean, we already know Nicius going up with Portugal is going to mean strong water play. Curious to see exactly what the deck selection is going to be. He already has this shipment coming in. So let's go ahead and just take a look at everybody, see what they have selected.
And of course, Haudenosaunee could do a water start as well on this map.
Oh, absolutely.
There's a counter water deck for Germany here.
Oh, what is going on? And so, I mean, also Germany has been significantly changed in the last patch, so I'm very curious to see how that's going to work. Hohenzollern, increased town center attack, that's going to be really nice for both of them, just to be an anti-rush, anti-water. We do see some water play like you're talking about. We see the frigate, we see the caravels coming in, but no schooners or fish markets, so it's going to be a little bit more focused on disrupting water play rather than committed water play.
I don't see any of the new cards either.
None of the new cards, none of the focus on the mercenaries. Looking on the Howd side, it does appear, again, no economic cards in terms of water, but he does have war canoes here. We do see some mantlets in H3. That's going to be pretty interesting. Really strong showing in terms of H2 resource cards. It's not as common. And then plenty of H4 cards. Beaver Wars, it's going to improve a lot of their siege units. North America Trade, earn extra coin while gathering natural resources. Pretty big, especially for the late game, as Howd struggles economically, and they have a very coin-centered army.
He's even got the 600 food in H2. That's a very interesting one. Lopsided opening with Silk Road again, as he did in that first game. He's got the new Cav Archer card. He's got a lot of military upgrade cards here. It's an interesting deck.
Yeah, once again, focusing, it looks like, on the I'm not going to bother to talk about their grenadiers, how to pronounce that, but once again, the focus on the focus on the Abyss Gunners, and as well as he does have Flight Archery, Janissaries, Nizam Fusiliers H4, so pretty strong showing here. Really early age up coming in with the Quartermaster, so for that 400 wood. Let's take a look. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, yes.
Quartermaster coming in on Nicius's part, H2 coming in, and let's take a look at this heavy water deck. Schooners, Whale Oil, not as common as a card as you would think, and he does have the Vitorias. Town centers now slowly trickle all resources. Yeah, so can you explain...
This is a very...
Yeah, go ahead and explain the mechanics of that card to us. I'm under the impression that it's like basically 2 free settlers on each resource for your town centers.
Yeah, basically it's something like that. It gives a trickle of each resource, but also XP. As you can see, the XP going up from the town center. By the way, you can. It really. So a lot of people are saying right now that it's not very balanced, but I don't want to bring that up here, but let's just put it this way: Portugal is scaling much better than they were before, and especially the XP really helps them out.
Absolutely. I mean, we're already seeing that on display. Like as you pointed out, 2 shipments already coming in before they're even hitting H2. Very, very good, and they had already sent in a card. This is a super centric water deck, but he does have the Cannoneer Mercenaries H2. A lot of upgrades to water, so I'm very curious as to how that's going to be played out, considering that this other team on top for Holzkoppe and Carey1ag, they don't seem to really be totally dedicated to water play, so I'm very interested to see how that's going to go. But Portugal Water Boom has always been deadly, and now that they've even been buffed, it's going to continue to be extremely deadly.
I might actually consider that Portugal might have over-committed on water with the deck. Like, there's a lot of warship improvements, which I don't think are very necessary, especially that Haudenosaunee probably saw it and just refrained from going water at all.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would kind of agree with that assessment as well, and I'm curious to see how it's going to play out. He does have some early Travois. It looks like he actually saved his 1 Travois from age 1, I think.
No, you can't do that, but he aged with 2 Travois.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. And so now he has the 2 war huts. Very aggressive placement, but it does look like, and look at that, immediately Delhi coming in. This is going to be the new hand cavalry card.
Delhi are so strong as well. Like,
yes, yeah.
It's a Hussar with an Ulan attack, basically.
With 310
Although
health.
they did get patched a little bit with the last hotfix, but that wasn't out yet when this was played.
Now, it is interesting.
And the wagon. That hurts.
That's a 2 villager package right there, and then now the Ulan now popping just 4 of them though.
Just too late, right?
And an extra 3 here. All right, so a little cav on cav action. They're totally missing the fight there.
Oh no.
Oh jeez. I was gonna point out Carey1ag's stable is a little bit far back from where his ally is. They do have a lot of tomahawk.
That's okay.
Not too bad.
His tables is not a big problem with Barrack City.
Anna getting in the middle of this, not able to really get any of the settlers. It looks like they got out in front of that mass, so they were able to pull those guys back. On the part of Nicius, he does have some musketeers going in. He placed his 2nd TC pretty close by. No.
Look at the trickle.
No fishing boats yet. Looking at this raid, he does have a pretty decent sized mass. Wanting to dance around. You do want to try to take out these Ottoman villagers. They're much harder to replace considering that they do not train them. Some Janissaries coming out on their part, but the Aina and the Tomahawk are going to pretty easily clean this up. More deli coming out of the stables on the part of Lopsided Fluff. I'm wondering how Nicius is going to respond here. A couple Musketeer here sitting back. Oh, huge raid here.
A lot of Ulans, though.
Oh my goodness, look at that couple. And I would just go ahead and full commit to this because that is a lot of settlers. We saw this in the previous game, that he was having a hard time protecting those settlers to some of those cav raids.
And here's the Cannoneers for Portugal. The Ulans are down though.
Yeah, those guys are deadly. I don't know exactly how. That's a strong H2 unit. I don't know exactly how they're going to contend. Great micro on the part of Holzkoppe if you saw that pull that they had, but those Cannoneers are going to rip apart anything that he's going to be able to field right now. So that's going to be pretty tough.
Yeah, Haudenosaunee really struggles against Avis-like units.
Yeah, I've noticed that. It seems like you know, I personally think Haudenosaunee is not necessarily in the best of places right now in terms of a civ, despite their rework. I just think that yes, I mean just
well, fine, but they're fine, but Ottomans is definitely a tough matchup. Let's just put it that way. And Portugal probably as well.
A lot of coin coming in on the part of Ottomans, though. 600 and then, or 700 and then 600 coin following up. Ulan's trying to get in the middle of this, but he's just going to find nothing but heavy infantry to take out those Ulans.
It's not looking too good.
Not at all. Nicius.
And Schooner's now coming in for Portugal, so he might actually...
I just saw that, but I still don't see a deck on his part, so, or a dock, sorry. So we'll see how that goes. Silversmith now coming in for Carey1ag, and even more Ulan just going to be thrown into the maw. I'm not entirely sure what the play is here, considering that he knows that they're going to have plenty of musketeer. I think he probably wants to get after these cannoneers, right? But they're going to be well protected.
Scores are still looking good, though. Like, it's pretty even at this point. Even though maybe the trades weren't too great, but Ottomans did lose some villagers, so I guess...
Holzkoppe now coming in with that age 3 wise woman, so that's going to give some resource cards, or sorry, resource crates. So that's a pretty decent H2 or H3 switch, going ahead with a pretty solid semi-FF time of 10 minutes. It's a bit of a push here on the part of Lopsided Fluff, wanting to see if he can kind of do something to this forward base. He doesn't have the mass, and I don't know if exactly how much Holzkoppe wants to commit to really even training units. He does have some extra Aina coming out to go ahead and deal with this, but that's going to be tough considering he does have some hand cav.
Oh, no. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that he still has the...
Are quite thankful for an archer.
That is true. You know, you can definitely just put them in the middle of the skirmish and they'll do all right. So that's a fair point. Lopsided Fluff floating a ton of resources in terms of coin. All of his vills on food and then 5 idle. I guess he suffered a lot from that raid. Because looking at the difference, 32, 33 to 20, 30, keeping pace, and then 29. So he is falling behind.
And just lost an entire batch of units there.
Absolutely. Yeah, Carey1ag seems to be, as well as Holzkoppe, seems to be kind of turning up the heat on Ottomans right here, kind of making them suffer a little bit. But he's got a pretty big Ulan mass, but Nicius has got tons of musketeers to respond to that. So
he's going to H2, H3.
27 to be exact, and now that water boom is starting to come in, and he's content to sit back. He's got 2. He's got a double dock.
Sending caravels? Why is he sending caravels?
Caravels can gather, so maybe...
Yeah, but is that worth it?
All right, so 4 base is still up on the part of Holzkoppe. He's got a lot of... Oh, and there goes that Ulan mask and finding Nicius's army there. On the part of Holzkoppe, he does have his force prowlers now coming out, and I'm wondering exactly how Carey1ag's going to respond. H3 now coming in. Exile Prince, so that's going to be a fast age up for him. And it looks like he's going to go a standard composition, right? So that's going to be Skirm, some Ulan, and War
I would
Wagon.
expect 9 Ulans to come out, or maybe the... settler wagons.
His economy is looking pretty decent, 32, and floating a lot of resources. Do you think maybe in an industrial age play, that would be interesting? I think if he just went straight industrial here,
it's definitely possible.
Lopsided Fluff now floating a lot of resources. There's a bit of a lull in the action because I think both sides are now content to kind of sit back, knowing they're not going to push the other over. Nicius has too much of a mass to kind of let himself be bullied here, so he's able to protect Lopsided Fluff and himself as well. It's a pretty tight map. They're really close, so he's going to go ahead and try to float resources now, going for that H3. Economy still recovering at 24 vills, while Nicius is now floating almost 50. That boat boom coming up, and I mean, just as you said, McCleaves, I mean, Portugal's just deadly. I mean, they're giving them so much time right now, and they have the water boom plus buffed. I mean, it's tough. Like, it's like you can't really push it, but then, and here comes the wall. You know, then
it's not easy to raid either because of the town centers.
Oh, huge raid here on the part of Lopsided Fluff. Good way to respond here. Lots of German vills going down.
Good. Well played.
Very well played. These guys are
going
strong.
to lose those staff though. That's a counter. That's a trade.
These guys are very tanky though. They're very tanky cav.
Yeah, they're a bit of a mix between Hussars and Ulans in damage output and HP. They're a little bit less. They do have a little bit less HP than SARS, but they're definitely stronger in total. Like, look at how many Ulans Carey's lost there, even though
pretty significant.
he had a much larger mass. And against the SARS, you don't lose that many Ulans. It's really the Daddy that's just a very strong cavalry unit at the moment. Although, as we said, they did get the hotfix did change them a little bit, nerf them a little bit.
Nicius is Portugal.
There comes another TC.
Yeah, Portugal water booms in full display, and now sending in a frigate.
Even sending a frigate.
Yeah, I mean that's just. I mean, he is preemptively protecting the water play.
I guess
without ever bothering, just to make sure that it is going to be uncontested, and it appears to me that Holzkoppe and Carey1ag are not interested in playing the water game with him. Native trade,
which is good for them in this case, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
There comes the raid.
Some musket riders coming in.
Oh, musket rider. And it's interesting. Yeah, I love this unit composition from Haudenosaunee with the skirms that are currently hiding on ice, which I'm not sure how they do that, but and then the goons that are just pretty strong goons, but it's very coin intensive. But there's gold mines on this map, so I guess that works in their favor in this case. Also, Germany having silversmith in.
Right. Yeah, no, Carey1ag is now, anticipating, I think, what is going to be a pretty brutal siege that they're going to have to be up against with 3 falconets there. And then you can kind of see here, I mean, not only are the walls going down, but an outpost and as well as a TC to protect this water boom as they're going to march it down the coast. And, How definitely does struggle with the siege until they hit H4 and are able to mass those their field guns. So
if you can mass, if you have a very good eco, you can mass rams on that, and that works. But it's not really a very good option in this case. No.
This is tough. This is really tough. How do you want to play it out? And I think the Forest Prowlers are going to be a huge part of this. There's a lot of heavy infantry on their side. You have Janissaries and Musketeers and the Cannoneers. And I think the Forest Prowlers are going to be huge.
Very strong unit.
And here we go. They're already going to work here. See if you can get the Musket Riders to go into work here.
So much heavy infantry.
Those Ulan are not going to be able to do much. Now here come the Falconets starting to go to work. Very exciting. Not a lot of cav on their part.
There's war wagons to protect all the firms. And musket riders. This is a very, very strong I think this is a very good army composition for the German and Haudenosaunee team.
3 organ guns now here. And huge, great pop on the Falconets. Good micro on their part.
Very good volley there.
Now I don't know. They may have a bit too much anti-cav. They don't have any they don't really have much cavalry on their side, so that's a lot of res that they're floating for anti-cav. But as I speak, I maybe spoke too soon. Oh no, the Delhi are now getting right on top of the Falconets. One of them going down. Those war wagons are trying to go to work, but the Dragoons are here. And
I want to stand too.
The one Falconet's still up. Anti-cav still trying to go to work.
I do get the point of war wagons, since the real damage dealers here are really the forest drivers, and you need to protect those.
Yeah, musket riders are now going in there trying to get the snare off. He does have Cassadors in this mix.
Very good trades here.
Oh, but this is a huge fight, and the Forest Prowlers have just proven their worth. I mean, they have just absolutely done a great job. He does still have 1 organ gun up, so that's gonna be a pretty big, it's gonna be a pretty big part of their composition here. I think as they're kind of dancing around artillery.
You can, I'm pretty sure you can one-shot it with his Forest Prowlers.
Oh, and one of my favorite cards, the 5.
And there comes
the Renegade French. I do love this card very much. Those Kissa are so good.
It's one of the strongest H3 cards, really.
Yes, I would say so. Look at these guys. I think they're so good looking. I love them. Lopsided Fluff still struggling economically. 33 Vils. Nicius is now 83. At this point, I would say Portugal can just grind them down. Like, you know, he's got the micro. I mean, he's going to have the economy to absolutely... He's going to be able to go to industrial at any point in time that he wants, and then he will just have just enough rest to just absolutely grind down his opponents, as long as he can keep his water boom going. But that's well protected.
Yes, Portugal is a strong city after this dispatch.
Kirsier seemed to be a little bit caught up on the Explorer here, trying to get some of these vills.
Or they might get these vills now.
And they will. There it is. Trying to pull them back. Dragoon's now coming in. I hope he can see this. Let's take a look.
Yeah, you don't want to trade those Kirsier for just few vills.
No, not at all, but they seem to be a little caught on the geometry. 2 down now. That's probably all of them, honestly.
Yeah. He's managed to save them. He lost 2 of them for about 4 vills, I think.
I would not say worth
it. It's the Ottoman vills though, and Ottoman has he's just getting a second Samson now, so it's quite late.
Right. He did ally with.
He's already got all the vills too.
He did ally with Habsburg, and he did train Royal Huntsman, so that's going to be pretty...
That's Oldenburg.
Oh, is it? Where'd it go?
Doesn't matter. He got all of the villagers.
Sorry, yeah, Oldenburg, yeah. Another fight breaking out here. He does have a couple Falcons here, but I don't know exactly.
Hiding behind the tree. Yeah, I would hide behind a tree as well if I were one of those Falcons.
Absolutely. Nicius now with quite a few organ guns on the field. 6 in total. Forest Prowlers are absolutely...
He's got kills too.
He does have coal, but I don't know if... Oh yeah, he's got quite a bit of coal.
Both teams have coal.
Oh, look, watch this micro switch. The Deli trying to get on top of the Forest Prowlers, but the Ulan maybe are going to be able to intercept. Forest Prowlers...
Look at the goons that's going down.
Nice switch here. Oh, it looks like he let his Ulan just kind of...
Very good micro.
Oh no, the Ulan are just out, but then they're going to switch to a raid. Going to look down here at the fight. Awesome for the war wagons to be able to get on top of those Deli. And that's a huge loss on their part.
There goes that Falcon. Wow.
What a great fight.
Portugal is like...
War wagons now getting on top of the artillery here. Culver just trying to get up there. Come on. Oh, amazing shots here now going on.
Yeah, these are some bad fights
for Portugal. Yeah, Nicius seems to
horrible fight. Ottomans is not doing great. It's really having a hard time.
Look how much artillery he now has on the field, but these war wagons are just right on top. Look at that, just get right on top of those.
Oh no!
And they're all gonna go down. That's a huge resource loss.
Turns are just fucking away at those.
And now Carey1ag once again the Ulan. That was an amazing switch. I have to commend that. I thought those Ulans I thought those Ulans were just twisted in the wind and he just totally forgot about them. Instead he let the war wagons go to work on the Deli, and then those Ulan were then set to economically punish Nicius here. And then that huge artillery prop was just an absolute waste of resources on their part.
Oh yeah. That was a big deal actually. And now Ottomans trying to switch to Aberspace, but it's too little late. And actually, Forest Prowlers can kind of take up Aberspace. It's like one of the only storms that doesn't trade too badly into them.
Absolutely. And those Forest Prowlers have been absolutely putting in work this whole game. I mean, they ripped apart the Dragoons. They've ripped apart the Musketeers.
It's a big mass, too.
It is a significant mass. I mean, he has 61 currently on the field, and these Culverines are just going to go ahead and content to siege. And now here come the Mantlets that we were talking about earlier to help pushing in. And despite Nicius's obvious economic advantage, look at how much res he's floating, and yet he is not able to really respond to this.
He doesn't have enough barracks to actually use those ones. And he could even go each 4, but you know, he's even sending economic ones. I guess he's out of unit weapons most probably.
Yeah, he's not even making units.
And you need more barracks, and it's tough.
Yeah, looking over, let's take a look at Lopsided Fluff. He's trying to get some Abyss Gunners on the field, but I mean, this mass is now critical, and after that huge, it's a huge swing of a fight, and I mean, they're just, like, when you're at this level, when you're playing, you know, I think top of the game, honestly, like, just really fantastic, you're just gonna push that advantage. You don't back off. You don't say, oh, okay, like, I need to rest my troops. I need to recover. I need to mass again and push. You don't give them the breathing space. Nicius has a solid economic advantage on the water boom, and so once you win that fight, you make sure you punish them, and here it is, the snowball effect.
Nicius might have an economic edge, but Ottomans is about to get pushed out of this game, and that's what they need to do. Just get Ottomans out of here and win.
Yeah, I totally agree. Ottomans have been kind of off just simply because of that. I think that huge settler loss in the beginning has really disrupted their plans. Culverin, it doesn't even matter. I mean, he'll let those guys go. More Hussar coming out on the part of Nicius. I think probably trying to get on top of those forest prowlers, but that's going to be difficult considering the fact that we still have war wagons on the field, and here comes Carey. You know, sending the wants to kind of play some interference, but I mean, for all intents and purposes, Nicius's ally is kind of dead in the water, as it were.
Yeah. And the forest prowlers have been probably guarded into the fire right now, so they would probably not even trade. No, they always trade down into the stars. 31 damage is, you know, quite big.
Oh, I love
to the Rams.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I'm so excited. Rams, like, you just don't see these units too much anymore in this game, and it's so exciting.
I use them a lot, and they got buffed a lot with Hamasoni Bomb, but it's always great to see them, and they make against normal things for them too. Just really cool.
I'm going to compliment Nicius here, as he is able to mass a very significant amount of Hussar, and he may be able to clean this. This is a significant amount, and the forest prowlers are doing a lot of damage, like you said. But I mean, 80 Vils.
He just doesn't want for forest prowlers. Like, he's in a very good kill position now, so that's actually a very good point for.
Yeah, but those Ulans were able to really slow them down, and it looks like he's lost a great deal of that mass.
There's more coming though.
Even more Hussar coming in, but even more Ulan. See if he can get on top of these. Oh, and then the GG being called. Wow.
What a game.
Incredible. I wish I could just clip this video just for that one fight. Was just such a good fight on both parts. It was like tit for tat, both of them microing to counter, and just that cav switch out was just I thought was just incredible. And then the forest prowlers able to get on top of the artillery and go to work as well. Was just awesome. What a great game, truly. And look at another and another totally ignoring
this. That's so exciting. I love it. There's even a raiding falconet.
A raiding falconet, yep. And Ottomans were able to put out a TC over here, so that's pretty interesting. And I mean this is a map all over the place. I mean he had total vision. Look at this trade post and an outpost here. Yeah. They're on top of this coin mine, 2 outposts. You have a TC here. And the trading post here, but then I mean, we know that you have the war huts, outposts. I mean, what a crazy map in terms of infrastructure. And it just goes to show that despite the economic edge, I mean, if you win in terms of micro, that's the game. I'm gonna look at military unit count here really quick. Not as high as I thought it was, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but its population, there was a lot of 2 pop units.
I see. Yeah, there it is.
But then look at Germany though. Wow. Really nice. Really good game.
Who? I guess that's the war wagons, right?
Yes, 3 pop, right?
Yeah.
And also there was a lot of artillery involved later on.
Yeah, look at that swing.
On both parts, yes.
And Nicius.
Yeah, that was a.
Yeah, and look at this recovery here. I mean, that's a huge bounce, but yet still, I mean, because
I want the resource graph. And
yeah, I
want to
see
know how much Portugal was ahead. Even Vil will pop as well, actually. Yeah, look at that.
Germany had a solid eco.
Even though, yeah, Germany had a solid eco, it was ahead for a while. Haudenosaunee, bit low. He didn't go water, so I guess that explains it. And if he had gone water, it would probably have been destroyed anyways.
Yeah, they're in a tough. I mean, I'll reiterate it. Even though they won this match, I do think as a Civ they're in a tough spot. Steady villager counts on each, but look at this boom.
Very good, very good.
Insane. Wow, great game. Great game all around. Really great. And I mean, it's a tough loss, but I mean, Nicius and
Look at the. Sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Look at the kill death ratio for Holzkoppe. These skirms.
Wow.
They're no joke. But these are really strong units. I know that Portugal and Ottomans both had hussars and dragoons, but forest prowlers are a serious unit.
In mass like that, at one point he had over 60, 70 on the field at any given time, and just
with 4 cards and the chief. They have so many. But that is the thing with Haudenosaunee is that you need to be taking good trades. If you can take good trades, it's a top civ. Really, the eco isn't great. It's a bit shaky, but the units are so strong, and the cards as well. Like Haudenosaunee probably has one of the best cards, or one of the best decks that's possible with in this game. Like they have so many unit upgrades, really good unit upgrades. They have so many good unit shipments. It's just an amazing civ. The eco is a bit lacking, but if you can take good trades, if you can do good damage on your opponent, which they did really well, and that's a very positive thing about being paired up with Germany, which is really good at doing damage on the opponent's economy. Right. So it's a very good matchup. I really like this team, Haudenosaunee and Germany.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, a great semi-FF on Holzkoppe's part. That was really beautifully done, and credit to Carey1ag as well for knowing the strategy, saying the Forest Prowlers are going to be our ticket to the win, and I'm going to do everything I can to protect them. And he did a fantastic job of making sure to maintain that mass with his micro.
I was also a bit surprised that Lopsided Fluff going for Denny's instead of Avis. He likes to go Avis a lot, and I think it would have worked. I just wonder how this game would have looked with Avis instead of Denny's. Denny's are very strong, but maybe in this matchup, Avis would have been more useful. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, what a great game. What a great game on everybody's part. Yeah. And you know, that's a tough loss, but I mean that they played extremely well, both Lopsided Fluff and Nicius. So you know, thank you so much, guys, for watching this cast. Thank you to the 2 teams here for letting us look over their game. You guys are top-notch players, win or lose. Truly, what an exciting game. If you like what we're doing here at the Age of Bison YouTube channel, please go ahead, like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate the feedback. We appreciate you guys liking the channel. And we are growing in terms of subscribers, so let's keep the momentum going. Once again, as I said in the beginning of the video, we are going to be releasing a ton of content this week. We currently have the semifinals now coming out for the 2v2 tournament that we are currently running. And so we will be releasing those throughout the week, and that's going to lead into Sunday, which is going to be November 6th, 1 p.m. GMT. Widgie's Twitch channel is going to be casting alongside of us the finals for the 2v2 tournament as the final climactic battle between the final 2 teams, which we're not going to spoil just yet. And so as these 2 are still going at it in the semifinals. And so we look forward to seeing you guys there on the Twitch stream, and hope that you enjoyed this cast and you enjoy all the future casts that we have coming out this week. Thank you so much, guys, and we will see you in the next one.